TV familia lotu.
Via te whatalo whātu nei fōi vai ngā lea whiawhi, i lea whiawhi nei o lea Australia, po whai unga fōi le nei vai aso, i se whapoponga nei o tātou po kalame o Tulino. Pēn masa nei ai haftai tasi runga lau ala ata nei o le NUSTV. I lea whiawhi nei o lātou mo atu tātou po kalame stasi nei, o proketi fōi a i la along whanau lo o tawina, i le wasenga o tūstala i nei tātou universite nei, e pēna i ai lātou fōi tūlanga lea i lātou fōi mea o ngā masusuenga. Ia wala fo i o lātou tongi, ia mōle nei fo i tausanga, ai usi mai alau mai moa.
E whatalo whatu i le nei tai au, i pa ia o le au mai moa. E le ngate tu mua nei, ai whaapea le motu tele o salawhai. Ai whaapea fo i le au mai moa mai i tawha lalang. Ma lo soifua, ma lo langi ma lo le whato to i whiau mga ring o le niwa yasu. Talawhalawa, this is your special sport program for today. I am Nathaniel Ezera, and here with me, Alice Agustino. How are you, Alice?
Talofa, Nathaniel, and to all our beautiful viewers. Oh, Nathan, I just remember that we're a week away from White Sunday.
Yes, and I just saw how much the young children are so excited. And I'm so excited too, because my mom, every White Sunday, my mom give me a White Sunday gift. Yes.
Yes, and speaking of White Sunday, do you still get gifts?
Yes, I still get gift.
Yeah, e moni au mātua ia whanau, wai te leo tainie e whanota ai, ai ele umai lava lea lofa whamatua.
That's right.
Speaking of that, do you have anything for us today?
Yes, we talking about women in sports.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. Interesting. Like, because I've seen local women who were successful in sports, like Eleo Pelonge in weightlifting. Remember how she won the silver medal in the Olympic Games? And it's really exciting because from someone in a small island like ours, it's history. Like,
yeah.
Don't you think so?
It's a history. Sa wale de kenge mai de small island, alu fa mai le ping city vai de akungu mamau like sa ore kala fasa mo vai ngale dai titse mai. E dai kike ka kwa kungu o kanga ka mo kwa kale ngi o kanga kai kungu da kungu ngi. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, do you have anything for our viewers?
So we have a campus talk to cover the opinion of students talking about women in sport. So now let's have Tiara and Hippe for our campus talk. Let's take a look.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Nathan. Talofa Pirona.
Talofa Tiara.
Okay, today we will be hosting our campus talk to hear about what students will say about women in sport. And here with us we have Fatui. Talofa Fatui.
We are here to ask some questions about women's sports. What's your opinion about women's sports? So the question is,
do you think will women be successful in sport? Is it ona famtalaina o le aso manatu ia o ye se mana imanuia o tamaita i tulanga tautalo?
Aftelo mo fasili ya le wai manatu e yaile sao tamaita i te le foile e sao tamaita i tono talo ma fua no tali fapia ona afapia e to fula ve tangata mo tali mai le tu o le lo família tu so e se me la tau fu fi ko tali ni ko le lo família tu ma le simia afapia o si tamaita i e vai mai le a ai le ni talo talo o le sile a wala e talia tu fa fitau yo tono lai te tainga me to tupe yo manistula wa pele ya ya nga dia wai to mai sai ma e ta tau fo yo na e ta mai tai tono tanu.
The question, would women be successful in sport? Yes, I would say women would find a future in sports because I've seen a lot of women be able to succeed through sports and be able to contribute to their family in terms of financial support. According to the question that came in my answer is yes. I strongly believe that women are successful because we all know that women are so successful on so many sports, like Martina, Ebelongi, and so many other girls. So yes, the answer is yes. Women are so successful from. Thank you.
Ja, pastala mo papasit. Ya so mana tu lef silo tu inaman. Tama ita ay tele la tu sa tawi ta longan. Lalang. Wai le na o alipo tama lo fo yang apa ay dia. Ile tu lang wai lang nga upsa mo papio. Ya udah ne la tama ita pastala mo.
Ay magpapsil. Ito sa mali tu lang at sa smart sa ay itano. Ya ito lang ba amale sa smart sa ay mawai sa manila. Để làm mấy mà về để phơi vai ngồi để trả đúng không? Mới xí kia, rồi giờ chắc cháu xuống phải nó phạm mình vậy này chứ nhưng mà lúc mà làm vào trả đúng không? Thì phải ngày nay trả vậy để sao chứ mày chạy, giờ này phạm tiền nó rồi em phải nó chứ là để em phải để chứ mày chạy nó phải chứ mấy nào. Giờ phải ngày nay để sẽ chắc cháu sẽ để cho nó sao phải rồi mà. Sa mai chạy sao rồi coi sao mới na phải vậy chạy nhiều chú lang lệ vậy thì na sa mai chạy trả luôn á giờ để vậy sẽ cho chú xong phải phạm mang như này trả luôn hay sẽ để rồi volley nên chỉ có rồi giờ mình đi phải vậy mình ở đây là lúc chơi vậy em là phát triển nhiều nhái ở đây mấy phải là em phải sa mai chạy em phát triển lúc phải là lắm thật sai
Ese volley matang of your tali sa kapyo na tu ina mai tamfa na hulo sa unya papangalangalan nila hiti.
Olha ela vatia ole ese man matango fie mari mana yo chali sa tuina mai alo mafana pa petai mo pa vono ino la tu tai
Yeah, oh my, I just to take my campus talk back to our studio. Alice and Nathan.
Thank you, Tiara and Happy, for our campus talk. And now, let's welcome to our back to our studio without further ado. And now let's welcome our special guest.
The one and only first female referee who was certified, not only locally but internationally as well. Sophie Lau.
Mai so ifua ya la sunga foi lo tu lai met le foi por kalami matango pia nei taia.
Sophie Lau, we knew back in the days that you were a teacher before you became a referee. We just want to know, like, what makes you pursue referee as a career?
You know, just like many other kids when they were young, you know, they want to excel in different things that they want to do and starting attaching to it and starting to love it. So I used to play volleyball, you know, I play rugby as well along with the boys. I think something that most of the parents have missed nowadays is giving the opportunities to their kids to be excel in whatever they want to do. So I think that's the main reason why I've been right now. I've been successfully achieving some milestone in my life because I've never have any barriers, you know, against with whatever I want to do because my parents supports whatever I wanted to do, just like many other kids were in those days. But right now, ever since I started working in rugby, there's a lot of young girls who wanted to pursue rugby, but the biggest problem is their parents. They stop them from playing rugby, but choose a different sports. And I guess that's the main reason that there's a lot of other challenges that these young girls have been driving their way through because there's a barrier between the decision that they want to do for themselves and a decision that their parents want to do for their daughters.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, like what you said, I was a teacher by profession, and I was teaching visual art and geography. And just like many other teachers, they've been studying a different field in uni, and when they go out to serve the community, there's another different subjects that they have to teach because of the shortage of teachers. And then that's when I had the opportunity to teach physical education. And because I love exercises and I love sports, so that's when the journey started. So I started from there, and in 2008, my dad resigned from work and came back to Savai'i and stayed with us, and then that's when my dad introduced me into refereeing. So that was back in 2008.
Along your journey to become a referee, what's the most challenging part was there any challenges shifting from being a teacher to become a referee? Were there any challenges along the way?
I think there were quite some challenges because you got to be a good role model on the field, both the discipline and how you carry yourself in the community as well. Like wherever you go, you got to make sure that you carry yourself with a good reputation where people will respect you. I think there's a big thing that as a sport person that you play, there's a huge role that you play so that people will also respect you back. So by doing that, you got to be a good role model, respect other people despite their status, even if they are leaders or young kids, you got to respect them. It doesn't mean that you're doing it for the sake of you earning the respect by other people, but when you respect people, you feel good about yourself, and that's what I coach one of the clubs as well, rugby clubs as well, and what I usually tell our players, if you feel good about yourself, there's no then you'll be excelling whatever you do because you feel good about yourself, and by feeling good about yourself, you got to respect others, and I guess that's the biggest challenge.
Yes.
You got to make sure that you carry yourself. You know how to carry yourself. So, and when I first started refereeing, I got to be patient. I was a teacher before, I used to beat the kids, yes. And when I switched, when I was a referee, I got to be patient. I got to be humble, and respect. There's a lot of good things that I've learned when I started refereeing. The biggest challenge as a referee is the decisions that you make on the field. The decisions that you make off the field impact the decision that you make on the field. I think that's the biggest challenge.
Yeah, thank you, Sophie Lau. Can you recall some of the highlights of the games that you get to referee?
I remember 2019. That was my first test match. Well, back in 2016 was my first international match. Sevens, but in 2019 I was refereeing my first ever international match between Australia A and New Zealand developments, the women's 15s in Fiji. I think that was the biggest highlight of my career. And then before my test match, I was refereeing the finals for the Youth Commonwealth that was being held in Australia. I think those are the biggest highlights of my career. And then later on in 2020, I was blessed enough to go and referee the Women's World Cup qualifier that was being held in Papua New Guinea just before COVID. Those biggest highlight of my career as a referee reminds me of my past, reminds me of how my upbringing was like. And being grateful as well for my parents for the way they were raising me. There was no barrier between me and the things that I want to do in life because my parents fully support what I choose and for me and so like what you mentioned, like what's the biggest highlight? The biggest highlight is being grateful of what you have been achieved in this life despite all the challenges.
Yes. While hearing all these interesting stories, I mean, some of the girls out there will be inspired by it. What advice could you give to everyone, to our viewers, especially the parents whose kids who are eager to play rugby and all other sports, but they can't do so because of the fact that they want to do something, maybe become a lawyer, a teacher, or something better than being a sports person?
Sport is not just about sport. I think that's the key message that I want to tell whoever is listening or whoever is watching. Sports is not about just the sport. There's a lot of great things that I've learned from involving in sports. I was a teacher by profession, and I was sticking to being a teacher. Like every day I go to school, I got to make sure that I teach the kids of the curriculum, and I got to make sure that these kids will pass their exams, you know. But when I switch into sports, there's a lot of different things. Here's one of the most important things that I've learned from sport is having a grateful heart. Having a grateful heart is a blessing. It's a blessing. Whatever the challenges that we face in this life, whatever the challenges that you face when people call you different names, the stereotypes and all that, when you feel grateful about, you know, to our Heavenly Father why I'm here, then you feel good about yourself. And that's something that I always coach my players and other kids as well that I work along with. You know, having a grateful heart is a blessing from our Heavenly Father despite all the challenges that we went through in this life. Just find around those challenges, somewhere around those challenges, find something where you feel good about yourself. And by doing that, you got to be grateful of yourself. And never stop trying. You know, some people, they say sky is the limit, but they miss those small little things. By just try your best. Just try your best. Those small little things, if you focus on those small little things, like if you go after school, you go to your house, you go home, and when your mom said, after you eat, you clean the dishes. If you do those small little things, after you clean the dishes, you feel good about yourself, and then you go to sleep, have a rest. So those small little things, if you embrace those small little things, then you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Avi'i, for your time. Well, I think our time with Avi'i is up. Thank you so much, Avi'i, for accepting our invitation and for pulling through with our interview today. We wish you all the best in your career, and hopefully our viewers, specifically the young women who wish to make it out there in sports, will be inspired by the words and push through with their careers.
And we like to acknowledge, thank you to the students to participate in our campus talk. Stay tuned for updates news. So far, so full.
O nasa mai mo mai stasi na o proketi fo yalum whanau o lo whapea o na o ina nei tātou la mua ia i le vaenga po le vasenga o tu stala. Ai le vaenga o soifua mas whanau ia e li taunu mai tātou as whanau a ta tonu tātou pokalame o lo iai lava i e lo whaamnatuina o lātou o soifua le so. Me se fo i o sa whapitoa mo le toi lo whaanga tātou pokalame nei ma ni tere wha moenga mo le nei a fiafi. Ia ma ole si ui foi lea mataununga leo tātou pakalame le Tulino nei a fiafi. Tātou tofta pa i taim lawa nei leas i le vais fau. Mo taim ni manuia tele le weekend. Manuia whainga maralonga si tātou tunu. Whasoi foi.